What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm a little late to the party here, but I'm going to give you a more on the budget side of a Echoing Strike Warlock. Now, I know there's probably tons of build guides out there. Let's just face it, this build is super overpowered. You can clear almost any content, if not all content in the game on Players 8 difficulty. I have now played through the game on offline single player, level the Warlock to 91, and now on ladder, about a week has gone by, solo self-found, and I have a level 90 Warlock using Echoing Strike as well. So I'm just going to go through my budget gear, budget-ish, I should say, all self-found, and where I allocated my skill points. Is this optimized? By no means am I saying that this is the best possible way to build out this character, but as someone who's not, I would say, an expert on builds or how damage is calculated or anything like that, all I can tell you is this works. It can farm pretty much wherever, and I know that some people will see this and say, like, oh, your skill allocation isn't the most optimized, or your item and gear choice isn't the most optimized. This is what I'm using. This is what works. I didn't trade for any of it. I don't think any of the gear is particularly rare or hard to come by, especially in ladder. I'm not using anything crazy right now. So let's get into the build. We'll start with stats, skill tree, and then we'll end on gear. So just to show you, I don't know why I walked to do that. I mean, just look at this Echoing Strike damage. 8450 to 18k, absolutely insane. My resistances are pretty good right now. So basically, I just put enough into strength to wear my gear, enough into dex to wear my gear, and then the rest I put into vitality. I put nothing into energy, and that's simple as that. That's my allocation. Now, skill tree, I did nothing into the chaos tree. I know some people like lethargy, and they like to use that to slow mobs down. I don't really feel as though I've been in too much danger. I'm not unkillable. I've definitely died a few times, but I'm not really super fearful for my life in this game. So here's what I did. I basically put up maxed out Echoing Strike, maxed out Mirrored Blades, maxed out Blade Warp, and then put 1 point in the prerequisites. I put 13 into Levitation Mastery. It's probably not necessary. I used it to lower the requirements. Did I put too many points into there? Probably. If I respec and really tried to optimize all my skill points, there's better places I could have put it, but it's not hurting me at this moment. Could I get maybe more damage elsewhere if I, streamlined my points a little bit better? Probably. I didn't really notice that big of a difference. I don't feel like my build's lacking, I should say. I put 1 point to Hexbane, and then I use Hex Purge. I never used Hexbane. Some people like Hexbane. Just to the lower the enemy defense. I don't know if it's necessary. I do this just because the Purge with the magic explosion damage is pretty good. I like it. I don't know if it's doing that much. I feel like if I don't hex my weapon, I notice the difference. I don't actually know the data behind that, but I like to use Hex Purge. I only have 12 hard points into that. I just started dumping a few points into there. I don't really care so much. It does fine. I just hex my weapon and start throwing. Then I went to the Demon Tree. Put 1 point to everything to get down to Bind Demon, because it's just such an overpowered skill. It's a 1 point wonder. I put 4 in there. I'm starting to pump Demonic Mastery. Don't really need it. I don't use my demon to kill things. I use my demon as a glorified stat booster, right? And mine doesn't have an aura, but mine is cursed, and I believe that to be super important, and I'll show you why in a minute. Okay, and now for the gear setup. I am personally using a Thresher with Insight. It's just kind of what I found. I think on my offline, my single player character, I'm using a Cryptic Axe, but I found, for some reason this season, I'm just finding a ton of 4 open socket Threshers. I don't know if the requirements are that much different. This is what I found. This is what I made it in. You can see with Levitation Mastery, requires Strength 92, Dex 71. Doesn't require all that much. My Strength is as high as it is because A, it gives you more damage the more you pump Strength. And I need it to wear my Spirit Monarch. Jeez, I can't speak. This probably is the most expensive item on this build, would be a Spirit Monarch. But then again, I've been finding white Monarchs left and right this season. You know, did the socket quest. I actually made more than one, gave one to my buddy. So it wasn't super hard to come by. I'm using a lore, super early-ish mid-game rune word. I found this +1 to Warlock skills, quad res, amulet with the 4% mana stolen per hit. That combined with the insight means unless I'm hitting mana burn, I'm never running out of mana. It's just not happening. Because every time I hit a mob, I'm just replenishing, plus the meditation aura, just never losing mana whatsoever. I'm using the new rune word Authority. Once again, not super expensive. I think just finding a good base is actually more difficult than acquiring a Hell, a Shale, and a Ral. +2 to Warlock skills, hit recovery, enhanced damage, big fire res, minus requirements. And then also, like, getting the Psychic Ward when struck. I know it's only a 2% chance, but it is helpful, so I use that there. I played through most of the game with just some 8% cold res gloves with nothing else on them. I found Laying of Hands. The attack speed doesn't matter because this goes off of faster cast rate. So I'm really just using this for the 50% fire res, and that's really the only reason, because the on striking doesn't proc with Echoing Strike, so anything that says on striking, just disregard it, doesn't matter. For my belt and my boots, I'm using Saigons. This is for the big cold res. This is for the fire res and life. And then, honestly, the only reason I'm still using this is because of the 10% life stolen per hit. That's huge. I keep replenishing life and mana, so it's like I really don't need potions unless I really get into trouble. But as long as I'm spamming and I'm hitting things, I'm not losing resource and I'm not losing any health. As you can see, I'm not even carrying any mana potions in my belt. Not necessary. This ring I'm using just for the resistances. It also gives me some dexterity there and some half freeze duration, but really just because of the resistances, that's why we're using it. Same with this ring. It gives me dexterity, cool, but the +11 all res is the main reason why I'm using this ring. I'm probably going to switch these out at some point. Just, it's working. I don't feel like messing with it. So there's that. Most of my charms are res and life, res and magic find, res, life, magic find. Luckily I did find a Geeds, so that's huge, that's helpful. I did also find a +1 to Eldritch skills pretty early on, which that might be a little more expensive if you can't, and a little bit harder to come by because everyone's playing Echoing Strike, which is in the Eldritch tree. So, I mean, trading for one, I don't know how expensive they are. I lucked into finding one. This could also be probably the most expensive item I have, possibly. A awesome all-res Grand Charm +13, and then this is just Lightning Res Charm, which actually I could probably swap out because 13% is not really worth taking up 3 inventory slots for. I'm not running a Mercenary. I didn't feel like trying to keep him alive. I don't really find a need for one. There's other items that I did find, like a skin of the Viper Magi that could be helpful. I might throw a Raven Frost on at some point, just for the cannot be frozen. I did find a Rainbow Facet. I'm probably not going to use that though. I'm trying to think if I have anything else that's really worth using. I'm just some Monarchs, some some bases here for when I eventually hopefully get Enigma or Fortitude. That'll help. And then just, I'm a bit of a hoarder, so I have a whole bunch of crap that I don't really need. I would say these are probably my best find so far. 42% better chance of getting magic items, war travs. Haven't put them on because of the 10% life stolen per hit that I'm getting with this set combo. Although I do have a string of ears that gives me 6%. I don't know if that drop off from 10 to 6 is that significant. I could probably make that swap so I can get that extra magic find, because I think right now I'm sitting at 83% magic find, and that would put me up at 125 if I put those on. And as far as the demons go, I know a lot of people like Hephaestus, because he's usually always aura enchanted, and if you get like fanaticism or might, it'll boost your damage. That's nice. I honestly think cursed is more of a priority to me than fanaticism or might. Just because of the amp damage. So if you're looking for that, I always just go to Travancore. If somehow I die and I lose my demon, I always just go to Travancore and bind a demon there. He's guaranteed. One of them is guaranteed to always be cursed. And so I'll show you what the play or how I play this character. Anyways, I don't have Enigma yet. Obviously, I want it. That's what I'm working towards. So I'll go in. I'll cast my Hex Purge. And I'll just show you exactly what it is. And then I use Death Mark here to teleport in, curses them all, and then they drop dead. Once you get amp damage on them, well, it doesn't work if I can't hit them. There we go. It's not very difficult. And the leech life is great. Like, I was losing life, hit a few people, and my life just goes right back up. Yeah, so I would say this is pretty budget. Like, I'm level 90 and this is what I'm rocking. I feel like you could rock most of this stuff at like 75, even before 80. You can wear all this gear, you can find all this gear. It's really not too bad. I don't want to be cursed, but like, I will. This is Players 1. I've also gone into Players 8 games and went and farmed Travancore on my own while everyone's doing a bail run just to get the better drops. And there was zero difficulty in trying to take the mobs out. Like, it was just as easy. Like, I think this is a pretty chill build. It'll get nerfed for sure. But super fun, super easy to play. A lot of clicking. But that's basically how I play it. Cast the demon with Death Mark, curses the guy, that's it. Curses them. I mean, if you didn't curse them, they'd probably still, like, these guys would still drop dead easy. But if they're cursed, I noticed the difference. So the demon is worth carrying. I'm not really worried about a mercenary. I may even try an Act 5 mercenary. Just to try something different, but I don't think it's really necessary. If I had better gear to keep a mercenary alive, I'd probably run one more often. But there you have it. There is my Warlock Echoing Strike budget build. It is not optimized. Don't come at me in the comments telling me it's not optimized. I know it's not. If you have suggestions, I'm open to them. I'm by no means an expert and by no means telling you that this is the way that you have to build it. This is the way that I built it. Cheap and easy, that works and can do Players 8, and at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for. I mean, eventually I'd like to optimize to get faster at farming, but I'm not struggling at all. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below if you're running an Echoing Strike build or a different build and how your ladder season is going thus far, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.